quick note. If you want to understand what really makes people succeed in German and how you can build a language to actually use it, join my free live workshop at bettergerman.info/workshop. Welcome to the Better German podcast. My name is Susi Blumel, and I will teach you German and everything around the language, the countries, and the culture. In this episode, we're going to talk about a subject that many German learners probably has bothered at some point. I'm going to give you an introduction into German cases. In German, they're called Fälle, der Fall. Now, if you have started learning German, it is very, very likely that you have run across it. And maybe you have been slightly confused by them. I'm going to give you a little bit of an explanation what they are and why we even need them, and give you the most important beginning things to know about them. Originally, this was going to be one episode about this, but then I recorded the episode and I decided to make it into a short series because even just giving you an introduction has several different points. So this is going to be the first one of a short series about this subject, cases. And in this episode, we're going to cover what are cases at all and why do we have them. Before we get completely into the subject of the episode, what I want to mention is that if you are a complete beginner and you haven't started learning German other than listening to my podcast, you may not have to bother about this right this second. You can put a pin on it and come later once you come across it. If you have already come across cases, then this episode can help you to figure out what they really are and to understand what they even are. Because it is relatively hard to learn something and to spend quite a lot of time learning something when you don't even know what they are and why they are here. So in that case, this episode is for you. If you are a total beginner and you want to learn this, or you have no real information about grammar, I suggest you to listen to a few episodes before you do this one. I'm going to suggest to you that you listen to episode 5, which is Introduction to Articles. And the other episode I suggest to you to listen before this one, if you're getting confused, is Parts of Speech, episode 27, where I define the different parts of speech, the ones that we're going to talk about as well. But don't worry, I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, and I'm going to give you examples of what they are. So let's get into this week's subject. So what are cases at all? Cases are different forms that certain words, I'm going to tell you in a second which ones, are taking based on the function that these words take in a sentence. This maybe sounds a little bit theoretical, so I'm going to give you more examples to make it tangible for you. Okay, so if you say, for example, in English, the sentence, the man sees the tree, we know that the man is doing the seeing and the tree is being seen. And there is no other possible interpretation of this sentence. And if you would say the tree sees the man, not only would it be a little bit creepy, it would totally change the sentence. Now, in German and in all the other languages that have cases, this is different. We have a different form for this part, the man, and the other part, the tree. And we know, based on this form, that the man is the one that does the seeing, and the tree is the one that is being seen. Example, in English, the man sees the tree. is German. Der Mann sieht den Baum. And I can say, without a change of meaning, den Baum sieht der Mann. And that translated word by word to English, that would be the tree sees the man. However, in German, it still means the man sees the tree because den Baum is a different case. And I know this is the one that is being seen and the man, der Mann, is the one doing the seeing. Okay, the idea is we have different forms of things based on the function in the sentence, and languages that don't have cases do this by the sentence sequence. So in English, the sequence is very, very, very strict. We always have first the person or thing that is doing the thing, then we have the verb, what is happening, and then we have the object, it's called, what is being affected by the action. And there is no change in that sequence ever. And in German and other languages that have cases, the sequence of the sentence is much more free because we have cases. This is the way how these languages are made up. Maybe you have had the thought, maybe I'm not good at German. Then I want to assure you that's not the point. That's not the problem. I'm going to show you what is the problem. And how I show you is I have actually put together a workshop. It's a free live workshop on Zoom. And in there, I'm going over what could make you think that. We'll cover what could go wrong, but I'm also going to show you how can it be done right? So go to bettergerman.info/workshop and sign up for the workshop, and I'll see you there. Let's look which words are changing. So the words that are changing are articles, adjectives, nouns, and pronouns. These are the 4 types of words, parts of speech, in German Wortarten, that are affected by cases. So articles are basically the words in English and the. In German, it's ein und der, die, das, and all of the different forms, and all of these different forms because of cases. And the next ones are adjectives. Adjectives are words in like small, big, tall, things like that. So in German, there's a lot of changing according to cases around adjectives. And then nouns are changing. Actually, nouns aren't changing so much. So nouns are words like tree, love, table, in German Baum, Liebe, Tisch. And they're not changing so much. There's relatively little changes. Usually nouns are with another word, either an article or an adjective or both. And these are changing. So we see that there's different usages. And then the other words that are changing are pronouns. These are words like I, you, he, these, those in English. So these are the ones that are changing. These are the only ones that have anything to do with cases, really. So let's sum it up, incorporating what we've learned now. So cases are different forms that articles, adjectives, nouns, or pronouns will take in a sentence according to what is their function in that sentence. Remember the tree and the man example. Okay, good. So in English, as I said, and in other languages that don't have cases, we only do this by word order. In German, we do it with cases. This brings us to the end of this episode, which is the part 1 of the short series, which is an introduction into German cases. So in the next episode, we're going to cover the different cases. I'm going to tell you what each of the cases are and the names and some basic information about them. By the way, if you're learning German in one of my courses, in the beginner's course, you will not hear the word cases because you're learning German in a different way and you're learning even how to make correct sentences in a different way than in most traditional courses. So, if you're looking for a course with not a lot of grammar and you're still learning correctly how to speak German, but with much more practice and little theory, then take a look at the Better German Academy and see what's there. There's more courses being added. You can already enroll at the German Beginners course, at the Total Beginners course, and you will see what's there. There are different courses. There are some courses that just take you from beginner to very advanced, but there are also specialist courses like courses for pronunciation or a movie challenge. So take a look at that, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye. Here is a story from one of my students. She came to Austria because of love, and she started learning German, and she tried learning German, and she learned German with different people. She had private teachers and private tutors that tried to help her, and she worked hard, and she didn't speak German. Then she came to me. I worked with her, and she was not a difficult student, frankly. Not at all. She was one of the easiest students I've ever had. We didn't do private lessons. She was in one of my small group programs, and after 2 months, she spoke German. That's her saying that, not me. Her name was Diana. And I'm not telling you this because I want to tell you how great of a teacher I am, but I'm telling this to you because what was wrong here was the method. It wasn't her, it wasn't the language. And most people, when they run into a problem, they think it's them or they think it's the language. And it's neither of them. Everyone can learn German, but you have to use the right method. So if you want to know what you can do to actually learn German, then join me in the free workshop, How to Actually Learn German. It's really a culmination of all the things that I'm using in my German programs and also in the podcast, by the way. Join me in the workshop. It's a live free workshop with me. I'd love to see you there. It's on Zoom, and you can find out everything about it at bettergerman.info/workshop.